Hello, everyone. Good evening, good morning, good afternoon from anywhere you are watching us from. Can can you just do me a hi if you are here so that I can even be sure that you can hear me very well? You can just give me a wave or something. Hmm. Hi, Debbie. Thank you for joining us. You are welcome. Uh, if you're live with us, you can just do a wave or just say hello in the comments so that we are sure that you can hear us. Um, okay, we are basically just going to move on. I can see that we have about 2-3 people already joined us. You're welcome, everyone. Um, this is the first installment for our coaching bootcamp. So let me do a brief of why we are meeting here, especially if you just stumbled on this video or you just saw me live and you just decided to join and you're wondering what's really going on here. So I'm Deborah Oladele and I am a consultant, I am a coach, I'm a personal development strategist, and I organize personal development sessions. I teach, I coach, I train, I organize events around it. Basically to help everyone like minds like me to grow. If there's one word that you want to use to describe me, it is growth. I am actually big on growth. I am big on growth in all areas, physically, spiritually, career wise, business wise, academically, financially. I am big on growth. Okay, so this is one of the sessions that I organize. So we are currently in the U Coaching Bootcamp. U is YOU, U Coaching Bootcamp. And today is the first day of the induction session, and we are meeting here on YouTube. Okay, so U Coaching Bootcamp is basically a bootcamp to help young persons discover themselves, recover themselves, and uncover themselves. So I believe that self-awareness actually sits at the basics of anything we can become, anything we do, how we do it. Everything boils down to the level of awareness that we have about ourselves. Okay, so this You Coaching Bootcamp is actually set up to help everyone, young minds. You know, when I say young minds, it doesn't mean that it is if your mind is young. You know, you can be old in age, but you have a young mind. So you are welcome. Okay, so the idea is to reach young minds, to help them discover themselves at the level of self-awareness. It is when you are aware of yourself that you can actually grow into developing yourself. So if you're not aware of yourself, you really cannot develop yourself. If you're not aware of yourself, you really cannot improve yourself, because you don't even have that level of understanding about yourself to know, okay, maybe this is how I should go about developing myself, or how I should go about growing myself. So there is that underlying factor of self-awareness that sits at the very heart of everything that every single person, does. Individuals, everyone you see going up and down, there is a way self-awareness affects what we do, the way we do it, where we do it, how we do it, why we are doing it, and the decisions that we make. So self-awareness is really um an underlying factor that, whether you are aware of it or not, it is running itself in you. It is working. It is moving in you. Okay, so you may not be aware of yourself, but who you are is speaking. And when I mean who you are is speaking, I mean who you are is speaking through the things you do, through the way you do the things you do. Who you are is speaking. So you want to be sure that you are doing well, that you are expressing the right you. If there is any word like that, but then we'll still see as we go along in this session. Okay, but I think I've been able to lay the foundation that self-awareness is very, very important, and it sits at the heart of what each and every one of us, does. Everybody you see actually in life, there is a way self-awareness is affecting us on a daily basis. So it is wisdom for us to sit down and say, let's know these things so that we can understand how it's affecting us and see where we need to make adjustments. And it's a journey that is continuous. So self-awareness is not a one-time thing. It's not that you join this boot camp and then that's all that there is. You finish up and that's all. No, there is so much, around self-awareness. If you are conversant with my mails, I sent a mail some days back, and I was sharing with my community that self-awareness is like an onion. You see, the more you peel it, the more you see more areas. So what we are doing, basically, the idea of the boot camp is that we are here to unpeel ourselves, see it as an onion, so that you peel and peel and peel and peel. You see, the more you peel, the more you see what is inside, and the more you see how it looks like, whether it looks like what you can use. Speaking of, if you're in the kitchen now and you have an onion with you, you peel the outer layer, of course. Okay, and after peeling the outer layer, you don't just dump the entire onion into what you want to use it for. You peel it, you cut it, you dice it, to be able to actually see what is inside. Aside the fact that the reason we dice it is because we want to be we don't want to use everything as a whole. Another good reason why we have to cut and dice an onion before we use it, before we put it into our food, is that you want to be sure that there is nothing bad at the inside of the onion. Okay, so you peel the first layer, peel the second layer, peel the third layer, you cut, you just to be sure, and then you wash it. So you are trying to peel everything to be sure that there is nothing bad inside. And that's the way self-awareness is also. Okay, you are checking yourself, uncovering yourself to discover what is inside. So the idea is you are uncovering yourself, you see, to to then see what is inside and then discover what is inside. And if it is something that is bad, or that needs adjustment, then you seek for ways to recover it. Do you get? So that's the whole essence of this boot camp. That's the whole essence of this coaching session. And we are going to be in for 1 month if you really join us for the entire immersive session. So the idea is you are uncovering yourself like an onion, like you open up an onion. So you're uncovering yourself, And as you uncover it, you discover things inside, whether good or bad, whether things you like or you don't like, whether things that speak to who you really want to become or not. Because there are things sitting inside of us that we don't need them for the journey ahead, but we don't even know that it's inside of us, you see. So the more you uncover, and you peel, that's the more you see what is inside. And as you see what is inside, you are able to recover from what needs to be recovered from, what you need to be recovered from. You see, if you are peeling an onion, for instance, and you see something bad, at a particular layer of the onion, what do? You remove that part. You wash off the other areas. You see, that's the way it is. So the more when you uncover yourself, you discover things inside yourself, and then you are able to recover from the things that seem to be useless, in quotes, or things that you don't need for the future that is ahead of you, things that are bad, things that are helping you attract the wrong people, things that are making you misbehave here and there. Those are things you now recover from. So that's basically the idea of this coaching bootcamp. Okay, so we are here to uncover, discover, and then recover. Uncover, discover, and then recover. So we uncover you, you see, you discover you, and then you recover. That's the way, that's basically the idea of why we are here. That's basically all that we are doing in the coaching bootcamp. But I want to take us tonight on a journey, you see, I want to just present a framework to you, you see, that you can use. I'm aware that some people are just in here for the induction session alone, which means that after 2-3 days you'll be out. You see, if you don't wish to continue to the immersive session. So I want to just present this framework to you. It's something you can sit with yourself to then use, you see, to help yourself. It's something you should be able to work with on your own, if you understand how I will be speaking to it tonight. And that's what I'll be sharing in a moment. Okay. So I'll be giving us basically you can call this the U framework. Okay. I didn't give it any name actually, because I was going to I wasn't thinking I was going to actually share it with everybody. It was just a framework I was going to use to take everyone through the immersive session. But then you can call it the U framework. You see how you can help yourself in this whole thing that I've said about uncovering yourself, discovering yourself, then recovering yourself. So you can call it the U framework. I don't have a slide, so I will appeal that you listen very well. I will try to be audible and self-explanatory so that you get it. And I mean, this video will always be available, so you can always check back and you see, rewatch it again and again. Okay, so I will go through a number of things, starting from how you should walk through your self-awareness journey. And this is a journey of not just self-awareness, but self-awareness now leading to self-leadership. Self-awareness now leading to self-leadership. Okay, and I'm going to break that down in a bit. But the idea of the framework is to help you go on that personal journey of self-awareness into self-leadership. Self-awareness into self-leadership. Okay. I have about 5 things that I will share quickly with everyone tonight, and it basically sits around you at the end of the day. You know, this is you coaching bootcamp, so everything we are speaking to is you. And I will start from you. I will start with you by saying the most valuable gifts, you see, that you can give the world is actually you. The most valuable gifts that you yourself can give the world is you. I'll take that again so that it can sink well. The most valuable gifts that you can give yourself is you. The most valuable gifts that you can give the world is also you. Okay, so I've said two things, which literally is basically the same thing. The most valuable gifts that you can give yourself is you. The most valuable gifts that you can give the world is also you. But you now want to be sure, you see, that you are giving the correct version of you. You see, at the end of the day, we are giving ourselves to the world one way or the other. So when you wake up today to interact with people in your household, maybe you went to work today, maybe you were at the market today, wherever you were, you interacted with a number of people, you interacted with online people. Even if you, let's say you didn't go out at all and you didn't see anybody, so let's say you were all indoors, okay? Let's say you were all indoors, it means that you were probably interacting with people online one way or the other. Now that interaction is you giving a token of yourself to the people you interacted with, whether it was just by posting on your WhatsApp status, you see, or it was just you posting on Facebook, or you commenting under somebody's post on Instagram. You are giving a bit of yourself to the world, to the people you are interacting with, to the channels you are interacting with. It's a bit of yourself, okay? And while we may not be able to judge you by just one comment that you push out online or one post, it is still out of you that that post or that comment or whatever is coming from, okay? Or and let's say you actually went out today, you interacted with a number of people. It also means that you discussed, you said something, you said I, you greeted someone, you gave someone something, you bought something. That's interaction going on, okay? Of which it is you giving a bit of yourself, part of yourself to someone, whether you like it or not. That's the way it works, okay? So the most valuable gift you can give the world is you, but you want to give the world the best version of you. You don't want to give the world just any random version, you see, and you don't want to just assume that, I mean, my version is the best, I'm good. You don't want to assume that. You want to be sure that you're actually giving your best self. And many times we don't even know whether we are giving our best self or not. You see, we don't know. But you know, if you are always going on that journey of self-awareness, you will know. You will know whether you did something that you were supposed to do or you didn't do something that you were supposed to do. You will know. Okay, so what I'm trying to point out here is that you are the valuable gifts, the best that you can give the world, give people around you, that you can even give yourself. So why not give the world that correct you in that sense? You see, why not give the world your best self? Why not give yourself your best self? Okay, I will take us through a couple of things that I said is a part of my framework, and we'll see how this thing leads us actually from the point of self-awareness to the point of self-leadership. Okay, you cannot engage or embark on a journey of self-leadership without first engaging on that journey of self-awareness. It's not possible. You have to know yourself before you can lead yourself. Okay, and you can't even lead others if you cannot lead yourself. You can't lead others if you cannot lead yourself. And you can't lead yourself if you are not aware of yourself. So really, everything starts from you. It starts from you being aware of you. You see, it starts from you adjusting you one way or the other. It starts from you making decisions for you. Start from you becoming somebody. You see, everything literally boils down to that underlying factor of you. That underlying factor of you. And we are going to see how it really works together. Everything works together in a moment. Okay, if you are here, can I see one or two comments? Can I see a wave or something? Because everywhere has been silent. I'm not even sure people can hear me. If you can hear me and you're alive, please just help me. Help me. I really appreciate that. Hi, Priscilla. I hope you are still here. Debbie, I hope you are still here. Okay. So I will move on quickly now to share my framework, and then we'll close out from there. So I'll mention 5 things under this framework. This is a framework that you can use to move or to step into self-awareness and then move on to self-leadership. Let's put it that way. So it's a framework you can use to step into self-awareness and then from there move on to self-leadership. Okay, so I have 5 key points. I have know you. Okay, I have own you. Okay, I have grow you. Okay, I have be you. Okay, and I have give you. Okay, so I hope no one is confused. If you are following me and you heard, you can just mention the key points. You can drop the key points you heard in the comment section so that we can show that we are together. Okay, so we have 5 things that I've mapped out under this framework that you can use to set out on a self-awareness journey and then move on onto self-leadership. Okay, number 1 is know you. Number 2 is own you. Okay, number 3 is grow you. Okay, number 4 is be you, and then number 5 is give you. If you are going to write that in an acronym, you write KOGBG. Okay, KOGBG. That's not a word you can really pronounce, but that's not that's not a combination of letters that you can really pronounce. But then that's the framework. So we can call it KO. Okay, we can call it KOGBG framework. Okay, and I would say that this framework is original to me, actually. Okay, yeah, so the KOGBG framework. So let me give a rundown of that again. This is a framework that I worked on. Okay, no, it's not KOGBE. It is KOGBG. Okay, yes, I think someone got it. Okay, so yeah, know you, own you, grow you, be you, and give you. So there are 5. Okay, know you, own you, grow you, be you, and give you. So I'm still going to share the framework with everyone in the community. As we go along, I'll just work on something like an infographic for us. Okay, but then it is know you, own you, grow you, be you, and then give you. So the last one to add towards fashion with AEON dropped in the comments is give you. Give you, okay? So let's look at each one of them quickly so that we can move. Okay, so know you. Know you. The thing about you and me and every other person in the world is that we have uniqueness, okay? And I know that we must have heard it a lot of times that you're unique, you're one of a kind, you're unique, you're unique. Yes, yes, yes. You know, that is not a strange thing to us. We all know that we are unique. What are those things that makes us unique? Okay, we have our personality, we have our experiences, we have our passion, we have our perspectives, we have, yes, thank you, fashion with AEON. Thank you so much. So yeah, know you, own you, grow you, be you, give you. Yes. So that you at the back, at the end of each at the end of the two syllables, is to be in capital letter. So that you will be YOU. But then this is fine. Thank you so much. Thank you. So it is know you, own you, grow you, be you, and give you. Okay. So what makes you unique? We are already at the number one point, which is know you. What are the things that makes us unique? We all know already that we are unique. You see, I know that we all know that, but what are the things that really, really makes us unique? What are the things that makes us unique? Our personality, our passion, our experiences, our strengths, our weaknesses, our voice, you see, our perspectives, our values, our vision. Everything basically about us makes us unique. You see, the experience you've had, for instance, in your last place of work, that experience is unique to you, whether you like it or not. You see, now it might be an experience that you've had one or two persons also encounter, you see, but it is still unique to you because I mean, they didn't encounter it in your organization, number one. They didn't encounter it with the same kind of boss or with the same kind of staff that they encountered it with. I'm speaking to experience now, just as an example. So let's say an experience is that you lost a job, for instance. That experience is part of you, whether you like it or not. It's not it doesn't sound like a good testimony. It's it just literally when you hear somebody lost their job, you'll be like, oh, sorry about that. But it might even be for the good, you see. But literally, it doesn't sound like a good news to say I lost my job. That's an experience that we can tag an unpleasant experience, okay? And that experience is part of you, whether you like it or not. Now, it is unique to you in the sense that you were not the only you're not the you are probably the only one that was sacked at that point. And if you're not the only one that was sacked at that point, your own circumstance or situation of being sacked, is different. It's different from me if I was also sacked in my organization. So there are two different organizations and we're both sacked. If we work together in the same organization and we're sacked, you are probably a marketing manager and probably an operations manager. So it's still unique to me. Yours is also still unique to you, even though we were sacked by the same boss in the same organization, doing the same work or whatever. It's still unique. You see, so everything generally about us is unique to us. And you want to start to appreciate these things and get familiar with these things. Why? Because they form part of you. That's just the thing. They form part of you. Whether they are bad experiences or great experiences, whether they are experiences you never want to talk about or the experiences you want to talk about, they form part of you. There is that part of you that has gone into the experience. There's the way the experience has become part of you one way or the other. No matter how minute it is, it's part of you. It's part of you. And one thing you don't want to do, you don't want to shy away from it, especially when it comes to bad or unpleasant situations in that sense. Okay, I'll come back to that, when I want to move into number two. But let's pick up another one. So let's say your personality. Your personality is definitely unique to you. I think everyone is familiar with this idea of personality being unique to us. Your personality is unique to you. Okay, you don't have the same personality as every other person. So if you go by this idea of I am a phlegmatic, I am melancholy, I am choleric. Yes, we have like a great number of people that are choleric. We have a great number of people that are melancholic, but it doesn't in any way make the our personality the same. It doesn't. You see, because we didn't grow up together in the same environments that have impacted on our personality. So if me and Fashion with AEON right now are both choleric, it's still we are still different. Our personality is still unique to each one of us because we didn't grow up in the same environment that could have impacted on our personality. We are currently not in the same environment. We are not doing the same thing. We are not in that same exact place where it looks like it is the same thing happening to us. No, you see, so we are unique, you see, and it is a truth that you want to accept. Okay, but where I am going is that because of that uniqueness, you have something to offer that no one else has to offer. You have something to offer. That is that you that you have to offer that nobody else has to offer again in the entire world. And it's the truth. Okay, when you combine your personality, your strength, your weakness, your experiences, your passion, your perspective, your voice, your vision, your values, and all of those things, they make up a you that nobody can become again. It is just you that is unique to you alone when you combine everything together. And these things, why we combine it together is because they are like one bit that make up our entirety. So your personality is a part of you. Your experiences, your strengths, your values, they are a part of you that make up the entire you. Okay? No one can copy these things from you. So even if you are doing the same thing that I am doing, let's say you also even now say, okay, let me also organize a you coaching boot camp, and you set it up and you get people in, and you also do, there is induction session, there is the immersive session. It's still different because I am different from you. You will do your own, I will do my own. The people that will come in here, if they come here and they come in into your own as well, it's two different experiences. It's still unique. Call it the same thing I've called it, go about it the way I've gone about it to talk about it, follow the same format you'll be using to say, okay, let's interact, let's introduce ourselves. By the time you set it up, it's still different because interacting with me is different from interacting with the other person that is doing the same exact thing that I'm doing. So that is where the uniqueness is. We are actually unique. Okay, so nobody can actually at the end of the day copy me. Nobody can actually at the end of the day copy you. Now, why is it important to now know ourselves? It is important because you don't because okay, I mentioned experiences, for instance. So we have experiences that are part of us. Any experience that you've actually experienced, any situation or circumstance that you've been into, whether good or bad, whether pleasant or unpleasant, they become a part of you one way or the other. Okay, and you want to know how these things now affect you because they actually do. We want to know how they affect us because they actually do. You want to know how that last year you lost a job and you were not happy. Of course, it's not something to be happy about. So how has that thing affected you? Now, there are people who lost their job and they felt like, can I really get another good job again? Because it looks like I didn't do anything wrong. You know, I've had that real life example where it was just stated in the letter when the HR sent it that we don't connect your how do I even put it? It was just like they felt like you're not compatible with the company. There was nothing to pinpoint to say you did this, you did that. So the person was not the person could not even say, okay, this is what I'm supposed to improve on for next time, because I mean nothing was said in the letter. It was just that you are not working, our work culture doesn't fit you, or you don't fit into our culture or something like that. You see, after probation, that was the kind of letter the person got. Now that thing, started to now make the person feel like, okay, did I actually do something wrong and they didn't talk about it? Or is there something I'm doing that is repelling them? Or it was just more like in a confused state. But I'm driving at something to say that that experience can mean different things to different people. So another person can be quick to brace themselves up and say, okay, on to the next job. You don't want me, I don't fit into your culture, that's fine, let's move on. Another person can be like, maybe there's something I did wrong that that is not clear, and they are on that thing, unable to move on. Another person can feel like, how am I not able to fit in? Well, will I be able to fit in when next, for the next available company? And these things happen. It's just speaking to how one experience can affect me differently from how it will affect the other person differently. And these things, they trickle down in the sense that you might think it's just an experience that affected your career, but it actually affected other things. That's when it trickles down to affect other areas of our lives. So it is important that we know ourselves. Okay, moving on to number 2, own you. You see, own you. Moving on to number 2, own you. The idea of owning yourself is that, number 1, because you are the only thing that is special and unique to the world. Own yourself. You see, regardless of whether you've experienced pleasant or unpleasant experiences, whether you consider that you have a lot of weaknesses compared to your strength, whatever it is, first of all, accept yourself, own yourself. Because if you don't own it, you are just the only one that is available in the whole world. You are the only kind that is available in the world. So own yourself, accept yourself, receive yourself. Own that experience that, okay, yes, sometimes last year I lost my job. Own it. Own that your strength that you have discovered. Own that weakness that you have discovered to say, I think this is a weakness. Own it. You see, before you think of, say, should I develop, how should I adjust, or how should I grow out of a weakness or something, you have to first of all accept that this thing, I have it somewhere in me. It's part of me. Do you see? So accept that personal value that you have. Accept that personality, that perspective. Own it. People say you are strong-willed, you are strong-willed, you are strong-willed. Own it. Own it. You see, at the end of the day, nothing is wrong with being strong-willed. It's just the way you balance it. But the first thing to do when you discover yourself, when you have discovered when you have done, let me say, a basic seeking or inquiry about yourself, to say that, okay, I experienced this, I had this, I discovered this strength about myself, I discovered this weakness about myself. That's what I mean, that when you have done, that's like a basic inquiry of yourself, when you already know yourself to that level. You are now at the point of owning it. Own those things, whether good or bad. Own them. You see, own them, whether good or bad. That's the second thing that you want to do. Agree that you have a weakness. Yes, you have to now make adjustments, but first of all, agree that you have a weakness. Okay? Actually, our experiences, our situations, circumstances, issues, values, they don't exactly define us. They don't exactly define us, but they form part of us. Just like when I started, you see, they form part of us. They form part of us. So we cannot, pretend like it doesn't matter. We honestly cannot present like it doesn't matter, because it actually does, and they form part of us. Okay, so you want to agree with whatever it is that you must have discovered about yourself, whether it's favorable or not. And if you sit down to and you are sincere with yourself a bit, you know that many times we are quick to agree the experiences that seem pleasant and good. You see, so as against you losing your job, let's say you what you got was a promotion, you are quick to accept it. We are quick to embrace it. So we are quick to actually embrace that good part, that good experience, that we have, that good personality that people have pointed out to us. But we are not quick to accept the one that they say, oh, this is not a good one. We are not quick to accept any situation or circumstance that seems like a bad one for us. But the goal here is you have to be able to agree that this thing happened to me, and whether I like it or not, there's a way it has affected me. It doesn't have to be a negative, it doesn't have to be in the negative. But you cannot experience something, whether good or bad, and you think it doesn't have, it has done something to you. It has done something. So you don't want to shy away from it to say you are only embracing the good parts, the pleasant experiences, and you're not embracing the unpleasant experiences that have happened to you. If you don't even embrace it, there is no way you can now make the adjustment that are needed. And it is important that you make the adjustment. Why? Because they affect you. They already form part of you one way. No matter how minute it is, they already form part of you. So you want to agree with it so that you can work out, something good out of it. All right. And as I was just looking at this thing, I was just thinking, if you're a Christian, for instance, let me just bring this example to drive it home, and then we'll move to the point number 3, right? When I was, meditating on this framework, I was looking at it from the angle of, if you're a giver, for instance, you give to the poor, you give to the work of the Lord, you give where necessary. You are quick to say you're a giver, and you're okay with being a giver. You are happy, you see, to be that blessing to people around you. But on the contrary, let's say you discover that in the last 1 week have been lying, for instance. Let's pick that as an example. I've been lying, like maybe you observed that last week you told a lie like maybe 3 times or so. Now, are you quick to say you are a liar? No. Why? Because you really don't want to associate yourself with being a liar, but you're happy to associate yourself with being a giver. So you're quick to embrace I'm a giver, you're quick to say you're a giver, which is okay and it's good. But you're not quick to say you're a liar. Am I saying you should call yourself a liar? No. But I'm saying that you already discover that, okay, in the last 1 week, I told a lie, or I told lies 3 times. And it's not what you want to be doing. You see, you are not a liar, so you don't want to do it. But you actually told lie on 2-3 occasions. Now, do you shrug it off and just feel like it doesn't matter? Is that the best way to approach it? No. The best way to approach it is to now sit down to say, why? What made me lie? Was I scared of the person I was dealing with? Was I scared of the repercussion that may come from it? Or was I just feeling like, I don't want to make this person feel bad about this thing, so let me just say something that will make the person feel good? You need to sit to look at it so that it helps you next time and you don't have to lie again. That's an example. But if you just wave it off to say, it doesn't really matter, and you don't want to embrace that you actually told a lie on 2-3 different occasions, you are not able to help yourself. You see? So this is why, if you don't go on that proper journey of self-awareness, you cannot get into self-leadership. So you're not able to help yourself, because at the first instance, you're not even accepting who you are or what you do or the parts that make up you. So how about you sit down and say, oh, I told a lie 3 different occasions last week, and I am not a liar. I am a believer. I know I'm not supposed to do this. I go before the Lord. What do? You repent, and then okay. That action of repentance, remember, I'm just using this as an example. That action of repentance is you seeing how you can, make it right with God. Okay. Now, how can you make it right with yourself if it was not anything like sinning against God? How do you make it right with yourself? So let's say you slap someone, for instance, mistakenly. You see, the person actually did you bad. The person did something that really hurt you so much and is justifiable. So you slap the person. Now you know you are not supposed to slap the person. It doesn't speak well of you. It doesn't speak good of you that you're slapping the person. Okay, but you did. Now you want to repent in that, if I'm to use that word, to come to terms with yourself, to say, no, Debbie, you should not have slapped this person. No matter what the person have done, you should not have slapped the person. So how can I make it right? What can I do? Do I need to call the person and say I'm sorry? Should I drop a text message? Should I go and see the person? That's the process of repentance. Okay. Now, you are not repenting because you feel like you have sinned. You see, it's not about sin. You are repenting because this is not who you are. And you have given out a piece of yourself that is not who you are. Remember where we started from? That was saying that whether you like it or not, if you went out today to do one or two things, you have interacted with people and you have given a bit of yourself to them. You don't want to continue to give a bit of yourself that is wrong, that doesn't speak good of you, that doesn't even align with who you actually are. So you slap the person, you're already thinking, oh, I should not have done it. Let me see how I can make it right with the person. That's the right thing to do. It's not a matter of whether you sinned or you didn't sin, or you're a Christian, you're a Muslim. No, it's just the proper thing to do, just normally. Now, after that, you will now want to sit down to say, what made me slap the person? Do I need to be careful of anger? Do I need to always restrain myself before I make the next move when people hurt me? That is now you starting to say, how can I step out of this? And that's the moving to the third point on our framework to say you're not, that's growing you. Growing you. And I divided that growing you into two to say you're either growing in or you're growing out. You are either growing in or you are growing out. You're either growing in or you're growing out. So in this case of you slapping someone, by the time you sit down to say, what made me slap a person? Am I getting too angry these days? You see, or what did they do that triggered that action from me? What did that person do that triggered the action of me slapping the person? You want to sit down to look at it. And that is you now saying, how can I grow out of this thing? Because it's wrong. You don't want to continue to slap people. Now, if it's a case of something you actually did right, that is awesome, that you deserve an applaud, you see, you also want to sit down to say, how can I grow in this? How can you continue in it? You see, so that growing you is in two phases. You grow in or you grow out. So you are growing out in, you are stepping out. You are removing the old, you are taking away the bad. The growing in is you are leaning in into that good part, into that pleasant experience, into that the best personality of you that you're able to push out to the world. Okay, so the grow you is in two phases. You are either growing in or growing out. So you are growing in to lean into that thing that is good, that thing that is that core value that is great, that you want to continue to be like. You are growing out of that thing that is not part of you. It doesn't align to who you are, and you want to shed it away. You want to peel it off. It's like that onion. Now you're already peeling it. You will see, when you peel an onion, you will see the part that is bad, you see the part that is good. What you do, you throw the part that is bad away, you keep the part that is good. So you are leaning in, growing into what you should grow into, that makes you be the best version of yourself. Okay, and you're growing out of what you need to grow out from, that makes you be who you are not actually, who you are not actually are. So that's the aspect of the grow you. Okay, and you cannot grow you if you don't start from knowing you and then owning you. If you don't own something, if you don't think that I have this weakness to work on, and you don't think is something you should work on, you will not be able to work on it. So that's where that owning you comes from. And then the growing you is in two phases. You either grow out or you grow in. You grow in into who you actually want to become. Those great personalities of you, those great experiences, you want to say, okay, this pleasant experience that I had, what was my contribution to make it happen? Did I do something? What are the things I did to make this happen? Can I replicate it again over time so that I can continue to have pleasant experiences for myself? If it's something that is bad, you want to say, how can I grow out of these things? What were the triggers for me here that made me do this, or that made me have this bad experience? How can I ensure that I grow out of it, that I don't experience this bad, again? And that's where the grow you stays. You're either growing in or you're growing out. Okay, so it is you at the end of the day, allowing yourself to evolve. Okay, and that is that part of you growing that has to do with doing. And it's that part of you that part of growing that has to do with doing. So for instance, let me give a practical example of myself. So sometimes, was it last year? No, sometimes in 2022, I discovered there was an experience I had with a friend. We went out. It was more like an hangout, and he invited me. Okay, I had already said, it's not likely I can come. I have this and this to do. I have a number of things, and he had to just say, "Come. It's going to be fun. You meet these people. You meet that people. You meet this, and it's going to be fun. Let's just go." So I've said, "Okay, let's. If I go, I won't stay more than so and so. I just had to allocate the time to say I'll spend 1 hour and I'll leave, and you won't have to complain. Are you guys able to finish up in 1 hour? Or that time I can't remember whether it was 1 hour, but I just said I can't stay up throughout, or can we round up by 4 so that we leave? So we had that agreement. Now we got there and it was all fun. Yes, it was fun. I enjoyed myself, but I was still conscious of what I needed to come back to do at home. So I kept saying, "Let's go, let's go. I want to leave. I want to leave." And then he was saying, no, you can still wait. I mean, enjoying. I'm enjoying. I'm enjoying, but I have something to fall back or at, to fall back on at home, and I cannot just say everybody's enjoying. Let me just join them. They may not have something urgent to do like I have to do at home. At the end of the day, to cut it short, what happened was it was more like I left angrily because they weren't ready, and it was looking like I was trying to hurry them up. I was also not comfortable with the fact that they were trying to see how they can, quickly wrap up because of me. It was not just a good experience. So when I got home, I had to sit to say what happened. How can I ensure that this thing doesn't even happen again? Because I didn't like the way I left the place. I left the place. I didn't leave the place in a good mood, So it was obvious that Debbie is not really happy. So how was I going to correct that? Okay. Yeah, when I got home, I had to speak with the person. I had to get on a call to say I didn't like what happened today because we had an agreement. You knew I had things to do, and so and so and so. But after the call, I sat down myself to say, so what triggered this thing? I had to, you see, it's still that on your thing. It was me opening up things to say, okay. He started off with inviting me. I said no, but then he persuaded me and I felt okay. So let's see how I can just do maybe 1 hour with them or something. And we had that agreement. So what happened? What happened eventually was that they were spanning over the time that I envisaged, and I could not take it any longer. And it wasn't like they were ready to leave, and it was just like I was I was causing friction in, okay, let's round up because Debbie wants to leave and some people don't want to leave, they are still enjoying themselves, that kind of thing. So I had to layer it to say, okay, at the end of the day, I saw that this is something that could trigger this attitude again next time. I don't want to be leaving places angrily. You see, the people there were my friends. I know a couple of them. So it was supposed to be that I should leave that place in a very good mood, but I didn't leave there in a good mood. So I found that a core trigger for me with that experience is that I don't like time wasting, especially if I have something to do. If I don't have anything to do, if it's just that when I get home I just want to rest, I can maybe accommodate it. But when I have something, I will not appreciate somebody not keeping to time, or now being that obstacle to me being able to achieve what I want to achieve, especially when it comes to time. So I made a decision that next time when something like this comes up or happens, I will not I will be firm on just saying my no. Okay, if I already know that I have something to come to, something that I need to commit time to, when I'm coming back, then I'll just be okay with a no. I will just say no. If it's something that I can accommodate, I will accommodate it. So I saw that when you waste my time, when you delay me, if you're supposed to meet somewhere and you're not meeting up and you are delaying, you see, of course, there is always that allowance of 5-10 minutes kind of. You see, but if you are delaying and you're not saying anything, you're not saying, oh, I'm sorry, I'm on my way, you're not saying what happened, you got there, you still cannot say what happened that made you come late. It's a trigger for me, a core trigger, and I've seen it happen again a number of times in different experiences. So I understood now that delay or time wasting is a core trigger for me. It can make me, just get into I'm not happy, and then I just leave that environment and everybody is looking like, oh, where did she live in that mood? So I understood that in 2022 to see that, oh, this is a core trigger for me. And I was able to make the necessary adjustments. Right now, I'm quick to say I am fixed for this time. Can we do it another time? You see, because I don't want a situation whereby we will agree to say, okay, just do 10 minutes with me, and that 10 minutes is becoming 30 minutes, and I can't take it any longer, and the whole thing is escalating. Okay, so what am I trying to explain here is, by the time you start on this journey, you are able to understand triggers of certain things. Okay, so I already grew out of that particular experience or attitude or behavior because I was able to locate and pinpoint what was the issue. Now I know one of the triggers and I'm able to put it under control. I already worked out how I would respond next time. So that experience, that unpleasant situation that happened will not happen again. Now, I'm trying to now layer on that there is a doing aspect of growing you. That doing is that, number one, you now have to be unapologetic. Okay, so I won't say, oh, because it's my friend, let me not be firm on the no. If I have to be firm on the no, when I know that I don't have much time, I will do it. So you have to be able to do it. At the end of the day, you can't grow if you're not doing. You have to be taking action. It's just, in fact, this is just like a common sense thing, right? You want to grow in your career, you have to be taking actions. You want to grow in finances, there are certain actions you have to take in investment, in savings, you see. So you cannot say you're at that phase of growing and you're not taking corresponding actions. Okay. Now to move on to the fourth point is be you. Now that be you is you now living it out unapologetically. Okay. So one of the things we'll do, especially if you come into the immersive session of this coaching bootcamp, is there's a place where we'll look at detoxing your relationships. Okay, detoxing your relationships, and what that means is you look at the relationships in your life, your friends, your people that are quite close to you, that are like in a circle that is close to you. You want to start to look at who are those that you need to spend less time with, who are those you spend more time with, who are those that you just maintain that level of relationship at par, who are those that you should actually take out completely from your life. Now, picking on that example, at the point of being you, if you are going to be you, you then have to you have to be unapologetic about it. So if you have worked on it, for instance, and you have discovered that Mr. A and Mr. B, I have to relate less with them. And then Mr. C, I have to just find a way to just excuse myself or excuse him from my life or something. You have to just be it, okay? You have to be able to take that action in person now, okay? In person. So there is that action of you understanding that this is a trigger for me. That one is you personally sitting to understand yourself. But when it comes to being you, you have to be firm and bold about it to say, I want to reduce my contact with these so and so persons because I've seen that I don't need them that much, based on what you have done by detoxing your relationships. So you have to just be that person. You don't want to be living like, oh, I don't want them to get hungry, let me just try and manage it. Let me not be bold about it. Let me not tell them about it. Let me just hide there, You are not being yourself. You are still living opposite who you are supposed to be living. You see, it's like you are living in a way that is incongruent to who you are. You are not you are, and the way you are living, they are not synergized together. They are not in synergy. So being you is that point where you come into synergy with who you are and how you now behave. Who you are. So you are not a person that just want to please people, please people, please people. So the things you do, you make sure that you're not, in that sense, pleasing people, trying to please people with things to do. That's you being you. So who you are, you've seen yourself as this person. You now want to live daily to see that this person is being fulfilled. You live it out. That's basically it. It is you living it out. Living that's you. You are living it out. So it's different from, that something is a trigger for you. You don't like people to waste your time, but you're not able to communicate it. You're not being you if you're not able to communicate it. So you already know that it's a trigger for you, but you're still, saying yes, yeah, not wanting to say no, yeah, not. You are not going to help yourself. And the final one is to give you. Okay, so give you is that you are now able to give yourself effortlessly. You see, of course, like I said when I started, every one of us, every day we are giving ourselves out, whether we like it or not. But at this point of give you, it's a conscious way where you already know that you have become somebody that you want to give out. You see, we already started the journey. So you're not the person who you were before you started the journey. You are a different kind of person now, having gone through those stages. Okay, so who you are now, you are able to give it out with so great a confidence, because you know that you are giving out your best self. You have worked on yourself, you have developed yourself, you have grown in the areas you should grow. You have grown in and grown out in the ways you should. So you are giving yourself freely and effortlessly. Now, this giving yourself is also in two phases, okay? So there is the giving yourself that happens every day, like it happened today, like it happened yesterday, like it will happen tomorrow. As you interact with people online, offline, everywhere, as you go about, you are interacting with people, you are giving a bit of yourself out. That is one that happens whether you are conscious of it or not. Now, there is that second aspect that it takes your consciousness to now be deliberate about giving you. Okay, so this is basically the framework that I wanted us to look at today. And if you look at it, the whole journey here, what I've explained here, is basically you sitting down, going on a journey where you evolve out of something and you evolve into another thing. So you are coming out of something, you are entering something. Okay, so it's that journey of self-awareness where you get to know yourself, and then you are moving on to self-leadership. That's the journey. Okay, you don't want to be distributing baggages around, where you can actually distribute something great about yourself. And the baggages we have, they come with our life, in the sense that they come with your everyday living. You had this experience somewhere, you encountered this kind of person somewhere, somebody did this to you, somebody hurt you here. Those things are coming into your life. They are becoming a part of you here, a little here, a little there. They are becoming part of you. You don't want to continue to express that version out. At the same time, before we even get to you expressing it out, you don't want to continue to experience it again and again and again. And this is where the what's it called? This is where the understanding yourself, owning yourself, and growing yourself actually comes in first. Because you don't want to continue to experience that same thing again and again and again and again and again. And you don't want to now express it to the outside world. So you want to sit down to say, why am I experiencing this? You see, at the end of the day, when you go on a self-awareness journey, you even see things you don't know, that are there, but they are there. Okay? And then it takes you from that journey of you evolving, coming out of the old and stepping into the new, peeling out the layer that is not necessary, taking out those things inside your onion that you don't need, and then making good with the things that you need. And then that one is what you give out and express consciously to the outside world. And we have come to the end of the you framework that I wanted to share with us. Okay, and I really think that this has inspired of us. I really believe that it has inspired us to really go on the self-awareness journey. Very, very important. Really go on that self-awareness journey. Really, really go on it. Okay, and let me just mention 2 ways quickly that you can take in going about your self-awareness. You see, whether you are doing it personally or you are with someone, a coach or something, these things they happen. Okay, you see them present. Okay, number 1 is you want to be that person of, you want to go on an introspective journey. Okay, you want to go on that self-reflection journey, reflection, introspection. That is number 1 way that you can really go into self-awareness. You reflect. For instance, you sit down today, at the end of today, before you go to bed, to say, how did my day go? So you start to analyze it. I woke up, I did this, I did that. I wanted to do 5 things. I was able to do 3 things. Why? What actually happened? What is missing? Okay, and then you then look at it to say, what is missing here? Okay, what made me do 3 things out of 5 things? Thank you so much, Odunayo. This is great. I don't need to distribute baggages around. I come out of the old and step into the new room. I make profitable use of the room. Yes. You see, the more we interact all around, the more we have one baggage here, one baggage there. So, and like I said earlier when we started, self-awareness journey is a continuous journey. It's not just a 1-month journey. You see, this 1-month journey is just going to help you really focus on what has happened over time that you were not even aware of. Okay, and yes, we don't distribute baggage when we can distribute something tangible and great. Thank you, Odwai. Okay, so I was on self-reflection. Self-reflection is you basically sitting down to analyze things about yourself, and you take it one by one. Again, always put the picture of an onion before your face when you think of self-awareness, or when you want to just go on that journey. Always put the picture of an onion before your face. It is peeling layer by layer. You peel it layer by layer. It is one by one, one by one, one by one. Okay, it is layer by layer. It is one by one. So you want to peel it one by one, and you want to sit with it and analyze it one by one. You see, when you peel, you discover some things that are wrong. You discover some things that even you will be like, this is, you discover some things you may not even want to talk around. I mean, you don't want to even, you yourself, you don't want to talk about it to yourself because you feel like it's so bad, and but one thing you want to do is, remember when we talked about number 2, we said own you. You can't shy away from those things. You just have to sit with them and deal with them once and for all. Very, very important. You can't shy away from them. So that self-reflection journey is a step-by-step journey when you are taking it one by one. Okay, you're taking it one by one. You're taking it one by one to analyze your strengths. You're analyzing your weaknesses. You see, you are analyzing your relationships. You are checking your personal values. You are checking, have I been too comfortable or not? You see, many things to actually check when it comes to self-awareness. And the more you reflect, you see, if you read one of my mails I sent earlier this year, I was saying that there's a right way to reflect. There's a right way to say, you can't just say, oh, to me it's just reflection. I can always do it. There is the right way to actually reflect. And it is the more you go on this journey of introspection, that you become clear on who you are. Become clear on who you are. Now, when you become clear, you now want to challenge your views, challenge the things you see. Don't just decide that. Don't shy away from the things you don't like about yourself. Own it. Then go on that journey. Okay, so that's introspection. Very, very important that you really go on that journey of introspection. Okay, and I would say number two, I said I was going to mention two things, is do well to seek feedback. Seek feedback, okay, from people. Seek feedback from people. People know you more than you know yourself at times, you see. In most cases, people know us more than we know ourselves. Okay, so when you go on that journey of introspection, you see, and the journey of introspection is something you do in reflection. You spend time, is a personal thing at the end of the day. Is you are conscious, but it's you and yourself, you and you, okay? And then you now want to seek feedback as a second point. Seek feedback from colleagues, seek feedback from friends, seek feedback from family, seek feedback from church members. Just seek feedback from people you relate with on an ongoing basis. It will help you to get to be aware. And when you now become aware, then go through this framework that I've shared to own it, grow. You see, you own you grown you in growing in and growing out, then be you, then give you, and you'll be good. And at the end of the day, I would like to close with it. It's a continuous loop. Continuous loop in the sense that you have to continue to seek introspection. You have to continue to reflect, or you have to, if I'm going to say, maybe work out a plan to set out time for you to always reflect. Very important. You see, because we are on that journey every day of our lives, and what you sat down to look at about yourself in the past 1 year, for instance, is different from when you sit down in the next 1 month to look at yourself, because what has happened in within that frame of 1 month is not the same thing that happened in 2023. So you want to get into February and say, let me analyze my January. When you get into March, you and sit down and reflect over February. When you get into April, you sit down and reflect over March. So it's a continuous journey, and I believe this framework is really going to be helpful. I will see how to work around it and share with everyone that has that is a part of the U coaching community, and I can even share it across board. Yeah, so I believe this has been a great session. So if you check the description, I actually put up 2 links. If you want to join us in the U Coaching Bootcamp, you can actually join us. Okay, today is day 1 and we are moving forward. We are on till the end of February. We are on till February 21st. Okay, so you can join us. You can use the link in the description to get into the U Coaching Bootcamp. Also, I have a playbook that I worked on. Okay, so this playbook gives you a quick way to go on that self-starter journey on self-awareness. I said self-starter. So if you feel like you want to just do it on your own, then I worked out a playbook. It's a self-awareness toolkit that you can use, to take you on that journey, checking your personal values, you see, your strengths, your weaknesses, you see, finding out things about you. Okay, it will help you to at least start out on that self-awareness journey. You can also use the link in the description. Let me see if I can actually even drop it in the comment section, but I doubt that. So you can check it in the description. You would see it there. Okay, so please let me know, how has this session been helpful? Can I see your comments? What have you learned? Just maybe in 2-3 sentences. Let's just see what you've learned. Let's see what you've learned. Has this session been helpful for you in any way? What is that one thing that you are taking out of this session today as we close out? Anybody going with us? Anybody? Okay. So we'll close out in another 2 to 3 minutes. If you are already in the coaching bootcamp, then I say congratulations to you. You're welcome. I'm happy to have you on board. Okay, and I must say that take me as your midwife for this journey, for these few days that we'll be together. Okay, take me as your midwife in the sense that there's a lot to do. You see, the self-awareness journey, like I said, if you are going to go on a reflection, it is you and you. It is not me reflecting with you. It is you and you. But I would provide what you need to go on accurate self-reflection, to go on accurate introspection. Okay, that will be provided, but you have to do the work. You have to actually go on that journey because you are the one. It is you at the end of the day that we want to develop, that we want to grow, that we want to work on. It is you. So you want to sit into every of the instructions. There are worksheets that will come. There are worksheets that will come in. You see, there are templates that will be used, assessments here and there. It is your own responsibility to sit with it and make good use of them. We'll be together in the community, especially if you are for the immersive session. So we'll be together for the next 25 days or so. So we are together. I'm able to check, and if it's one-on-one, I'm able to check in with you, to sit with you and sit with your responses. Okay, if it's the group coaching, then we are together. I'm checking and I'm sharing what needs to be shared to everybody. You see, at the same time, it is at the end of the day, you have to do the work. You have to be part. You are a core part of your self-awareness journey. I am going to be the midwife to say, sit like this, stand like this, lie down here, walk around, push, drink water, take this. That's my own. But you have to do, you are the one that will now take the action. Okay? You are the one that will take the action. Okay, my part is to tell you, do it this way, go this way, take this thing, take this step, organize it here, adjust it here, you see. But you have to now do the work. Okay, and here, so that's it. The link is in the description. You can get the playbook, you can join us in the coaching bootcamp, however you want to. It's fine. You can also connect with me online on Instagram, on Facebook, on Twitter. Join my email list. That is very, very important. Join my community where you get to read from me, on personal development and growth. Okay. And please subscribe to my YouTube channel. Okay, thank you. Although says my past is a part of me that I need to learn from. I don't need to shy away from it. I just need to learn from it and filter the good ones. Absolutely. And that's just so good. That's so good. Your past is that part of it that you need to learn from. You are not shying away from it. We don't shy away from things like that. We own it so that we learn from it and we grow out of it. Okay. Thank you for that comment. Such a wonderful comment, I must say. Did I lose anyone? Okay, back. Yeah, thank you so much for doing for that. I really appreciate that. Thank you so much, Ma, for this session. This came in timely. Yes, yes. Thank God. And thank you for joining. Thank you for being a part. Thank you. Okay. Thank you, everyone. And I will see us where we get to see either in the coaching bootcamp, or I see you grabbing the playbook, to go on that your own personal preliminary self-awareness journey. I will see you in my community if you join. You see, sign up. There's even a free book if you sign up. You get a personal development plan. You can use the link in my bio here on YouTube or in the description. You get that personal development plan. It's a free book that you can use to plan your personal development. So I will see you. And I will see you connect with me too as you subscribe, as you get on Instagram, check me out, follow, like, connect everywhere. I will see you. Thank you, everyone. This has been such a great time. Thank you. And you can always come back to this video to watch again and learn. All right. Okay, we have to end it now. Bye. Bye, bye, bye. Thank you.